What's good, neighborhood? It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for another installment of Warframe Wednesday. This marks the 30th episode, actually. We're 30 Warframes in, and honestly, I could say that I've slowed down on playing Warframe a little bit, largely because, I've been playing and streaming other stuff. But I always make it a point to come back to this, not just for the weekly tutorial streams, but just because I enjoy the game. With that being said, today's target is the Berserker, Valkyr. Now, as far as the Warframe's design goes, I really gotta talk about this for a second because the lore behind Valkyr it's interesting because she, much like Mesa, actually, is one of the notable Warframes that was actually captured and experimented on. And that actually leads to acquisition. If you want to actually pick up the component blueprints for Valkyr and go through to build her,
You have loyalty issues, Terran.
you'll find her right
Nice
there.
Program. We'll fix that for you.
The Themisto node on Jupiter. So,
Everything in order?
pretty much, Valkyr is another one of those. Valkyr is another Warframe, just like Loki and Excalibur and Frost. You get the idea. Ones that you can actually farm from boss fights. So you don't need to go through anything too extravagant if you want to actually find and build this particular Warframe. Now, as far as Valkyr's kit goes, as far as her abilities go, once again, she's definitely more of she's more of a berserker type by design. By design, stealth isn't something you're going to be aiming for with her. Let's jump over into the training simulation, and I will show you exactly what I'm referring to. But first, we gotta put up our punching bags. And also, give me just a brief moment. Alright, so now that we've got our targets set up, let's get started. So, another thing about Valkyr's design is that, she's very much a feline sort of Warframe. And her two passive abilities are actually influenced by that. The first is that she recovers faster from knockdown. Now, there are mods that you can find that do that as well, but Valkyr's got it built in. The second passive ability that she has is that no matter what height she lands from, You won't have to worry about rolling or, you know, any sort of impact from falling or landing from greater heights than usual. So basically, the moment she lands, like the moment she lands from a straight drop, you can just keep running. It's pretty useful if you want to stay on the move. Now, the ability that you get for her right out of the box, starting at rank 1, is Ripline. Now, Ripline is interesting because, number one, if you use it on, say, an enemy, then she yanks them toward her, no matter where she's pulling them from. So you can get some interesting catapult and ragdoll effects. But the second ability that Ripline has is that if you aim it towards a surface, then you've got the Spider-Man treatment here, and she pulls herself to it. It's pretty solid for repositioning if you're actually paying attention and not trying to, launch yourself clean off the edge of the map like I just did earlier. And there we have it. Now, the second ability that you unlock for her once you hit rank 3 is Warcry. It pretty much, it debuffs enemies that are in the area, but also as is the case with the basic, as is the case with the basic Warcry anyway, your team gets a nice boost from that also. So yeah, pretty much what it is like you slow the enemy down. Meanwhile, your team actually gets a boost to their melee attack speed. So if you weren't already swinging fast enough beforehand, well, yeah. I goofed on that. Let's try it again. There we go. Hey, what's up, Blue? Good to see you. Ability number 3 that you get for her when she hit rank 5 is Paralysis. Now, Paralysis does what it says on the tin. However, in order to cast it, you're sacrificing half of Valkyr's available shields, and depending on the numerical value of the shields, it'll do that much damage when you actually cast it off. So it's like this. Half of 100 is greater than half of 20. So the larger your shield pool, and the greater your shield pool once you cast it, the more damage you're going to do. In addition to, stunning enemies around you. So you can go Paralysis, then drop in Warcry. And basically come through and shred most high-level enemies in a matter of moments. Now, once you hit rank 10, her fourth ability pretty much comes as an altered state, like the exalted weapons, like the Artemis bow, the exalted blade, the peacemakers, and that is Hysteria. Any enemies within range of Hysteria are stunned and slowed down. Meanwhile, Valkyr gets some massive enhancements to her attack speed. She gets a signature weapon that she uses as well. And the claws that she gets by themselves are just absolutely devastating. And yeah, I saw that news earlier. Dual audio, PS5 upgrade. I mean, there is one thing about Like a Dragon that I do still have issues with, but we can talk about that later once I finish up with this. But basically, if you've got the energy to put together with all of Valkyr's abilities, you can get some pretty wild setups going. Let's do 2, then we do 3, 4. These are already high-level enemies, but putting Valkyr's abilities together like that can actually dish out some really, really high damage really quickly. In short, she's built to be a DPS monster. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of those things where you can tell, you can tell he's pretty stoked to actually be a part of it. And after hearing the English dub and the trailers, it honestly sounds pretty good. Oh, the gameplay I'm fine with. It's fantastic. I actually really enjoy the turn-based feel. What I'm not big on is what happened a while back with the whole, with the inclusion of New Game Plus. I don't know if that's changed at this point. I'll have to double check it, but yeah, with New Game Plus being behind a paywall, I can't in good conscience I mean, if I wind up landing a review code for it, then that's fine. But if it's up to me spending my own cash on it, then I don't think I'd get it on release or even pre-order.
I thought you'd want to know.
Hold on, let me go back. But anyway, now that we've actually covered, now that we've covered the gist as far as her abilities go.
Operator, you have remembered well how the Tenno arm themselves.
Well, we can't really go in there with her unmodded because, you know, I added a good chunk of stuff to her. Let's see, do I have a better... Oh, that's right. This mod setup was specifically to increase her survivability. Let's do that instead. But anyway, with a good mod setup, we can go ahead and put her through her paces, and it'll be practically like a walk in the park. Let's actually jump over here to the boss fight where you can actually farm her. You can actually farm her component and even her main blueprints. Now, assassination missions are pretty straightforward. You jump in, run to the end of the stage, fight the boss, be done with it.
Mark. You are here to find your mark and eliminate the assigned target. This Valkyr prototype has made Alad V a very dangerous man. If he's allowed to carry out his plans, no Tenno in the system will be safe.
Let's slow these guys down just a little bit.
You have loyalty issues, Tenno. My Zanuka proto will fix that for you.
As I'm sure you just witnessed, Ripline is useful for enemies that like to fly and, you know, stay out of the way. But again, it's also solid for repositioning. Let's clear this. Let's clear this alarm.
For the Lotus.
So yeah, again with yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the full cast list.
The power of the Tenno and thinks he can take it for himself. That power is sacred. This blasphemy must end now.
I think you'd be a perfect fit.
Let's get those out of the way.
Oh, have you come to make a donation to my newest enterprise? Excellent. Please report to my lab for reconstruction. Oh, if it's your friends you're looking for, you're welcome to place a bid for my newest Zanuka prototype.
Alright, time to rock and roll. Get back here, you.
I can't decide, Tenno. Have you come to save your friends, or just steal my property?
There's the assassination
And there we go.
target.
Job's
You know
done.
what to do. Nice work taking down the VIP. Now get to extraction.
I'd say he went down pretty quick, more because I'm
Walkers
kinda
incoming.
overgeared. There we go. Now, another thing about the rip line is that if you actually cast it rapid fire, or if you have the energy to cast it rapid fire, then you can increase how much damage it does and decrease how much it costs to cast. So, you could say it's got its uses. Oh, I should probably get out of here before I actually get killed.
They won't
And there we
be
go.
enough anymore. Let's get out of here.
And, just like that, got a blueprint for the chassis. Yeah, my gear, at least my melee weapon is pretty well overpowered, so so it only makes sense that I'd be able to,
Operator,
drop a
messages have arrived
relatively
in your
early
inbox.
game boss like him. But if we're really going to be testing out how effective her kit is, then we should probably jump into something a little bit further down the line. No. Alright, so the place that I'm jumping to right now, which I don't think I even mentioned in Loki's, in the stream where we were working with Loki last week, but the spot that I'm jumping to right now is the boss fight where you actually get his blueprints. But yeah, I will say once you complete a good portion of the star chart and really start getting your hands on some you know,
We've contracted you
on
with a mark.
some of the,
Find
like,
your mark and eliminate the assigned target.
like the double
Corpus technology won't
double
be
status
enough
chance
to
mods.
save us.
Recent innovations in Corpus have led
Let's
to
just
a
say
surge in
that's when you
production.
get to a point
Their
where
new
you can
animal-like proxy is an
drop
unrelenting
bosses
hunter.
insanely
Covenant
fast.
Hyena. This robot is designed to work in packs.
Yep. Anybody else? No? It's done? Good.
Warframe is strong.
Keep going. No one knows you're here.
Nobody knows you're here. Yeah, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Use caution. The hyena pack will work together to try and take you down.
Talon! Oh, yes! Yes! Help me! Help me, help me, help me, help me! Help me!
Ah, there you are. Let's just,
Free! I should probably surrender.
Alright, what have we got here? Whoopsie daisy. Well, now that that's done, let's get back to it. Yeah, none of that from you.
Ahoy! Want these looks sharpish, check? Lucky me. Front row seat to watch you work.
That's enough out of you. You don't get to turn on that alarm. You're done.
Our operatives have identified at least 4 different variations of the hyena model, each with a different specialization and arsenal of attacks.
Your crowns are safe in my grasp, oh Parvos. Protect me!
You've located the VIP. Time to go back.
Board wisdom deep and high.
Let's just, deal with that. Okay, where's the pack? Where's the VIP? Oh crap, I shouldn't have done that. Shields is exactly what I should not be depleting right here. There we go. Is that it? Oh, good. Got them both.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Let's get out of here.
And it is now officially time to bail. I should probably try tackling a boss that's got a little bit more meat on it. That was actually the wrong way to go. Oh. There we go.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Let's get out of here.
And there we got the... And there we got a blueprint for one of Loki's parts. I guess with as straightforward as this Warframe's abilities are.
Check your inbox, operator. Maybe orders will get a message someday.
Oh, it looks like I'm just going through and racking up the death threats, huh? Well, let's do something a little different here. Get ourselves onto a group mission. Ooh, I don't have any relics for that. That could be a problem. What about here? Well, plenty here to work with. Let's give this a shot.
I've been thinking, operator.
Wait, did it just immediately send me into this on my own? Ah, well. I was kind of hoping to go in with a group so that way I'd have greater chances of getting my hands on that one. Well, on one or two of the new bits of Prime gear. Oh, there we go.
Keep fighting.
We got somebody.
Reactant.
Hey, wait up! Wait up, I'm coming with you! There you go, enjoy the little boost.
Target found. Destroy it. Target destroyed. Proceed to the extraction point.
Okay,
That's it.
and there's
Open the
our...
relic. Finish your mission.
There's
and
our open relic.
inside.
Let's get out of here. Oh, I'm stuck. Almost there. Almost there. Done. I suppose I can go for this one.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
But yeah, between the trailer for Like a Dragon and oh my god, that new game from Reptile Games, what you call it, Bomb Crush Cyberfunk. Oh, I also just saw the tweet from Greg Chun about him coming back to the Yakuza games. So that was actually a really nice little tidbit to see. Okay, I did say I wanted to try a boss fight with a little bit more meat on it, so nothing better than the redesigned Jackal.
In an attempt to exert power and authority, the Corpus have continued to refine their most lethal security proxy, the Jackal. Determine its location aboard this vessel and destroy it.
No, you don't get to do that. You stop that. I just pulled his torso off his body. That's kind of messed up. Alright. Let's keep getting a move on.
Every Warframe has at its disposal a special blade, a Parazon, as lethal to technology as it is to flesh. Disrupting the Jackal's auto-repair may require it. You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors.
No detection so far.
Remember, the Jackal's auto-repair precepts could make this a battle of attrition you will lose. Watch for an opening, and remember your Parazon.
Hey, welcome back, Blue.
I expected it to be.
I will never get tired of seeing that cutscene.
Still mobile despite the damage.
Oh.
But if it comes down hard, it could give you an opening. Massive flex plates on the torso, but appendages weakness. Loosened grid wall. Stay. Tenno.
There we
use your
go.
Parazon.
And on to the next phase from the looks of it. Yeah, no, stop that.
running out of cover.
And you see that? That right there. Got hit with a shockwave to push me back, and I used the rip line to just get right back in there. Oof. Oh no. Oh, this could be bad. Crud, dead. Ripline! Once again! With the Spider-Man antics! Okay, I tried to be fancy there, and I paid for it. Oh.
It's sending out distress waves. You know what to do.
Time to finish it off.
Well done, Snow. You have sent a clear message to the Corpus today. Or profiteering will not go unpunished.
There we go.
Wise Porthos, the low thief shall never know the cool caress of your crown.
Oh. That dude's already dead.
Target down. Assassination contract complete. Great work, Tim.
And I'd say that right there was, outside of some execution error on my part, a pretty solid demo of what you can really get down to doing with Valkyr's abilities. I should have probably used her her Hysteria a bit more for the invincibility, but definitely being able to use the rip line to to get yourself from one point to the next to avoid various attacks.
The inbox has messages for the operator.
It's
Anything about orders in there?
it's something to keep an eye on. Ooh. Okay, so with all that out of the way, quick wrap up. If you want a Warframe where massive DPS bursts is the order of the day, Valkyr's definitely the way to go. If you want to mod towards specific abilities, like say toward paralysis, for example, then if you want to mod towards paralysis, make sure to beef up her shields so that way she can use more of her shields to do more damage. Another thing that
Orders is angry.
Another thing that you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for when using this Warframe, though, is that when you use her ultimate ability, if there are still enemies in play, when that ability ends, she does take some damage, you know? Still playing more off that Berserker vibe. But all in all, still solid, still very much a viable frame. And hell, you could go ahead and ask Jan. He swears by this Warframe, and it's pretty easy to see why.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return
Covered in blood.
safe and sound.
And I think for now I can go ahead and... I think for now I'll just switch over to one of my other builds. Let's see if we can get in at least one more good mission before I gotta call it for now. Okay, do I have any relics for this? Yes, I do. Let's give this another shot, see if I can actually... It seems I won't be able to actually get myself in on any of the relic squads. That's a shame.
This is a mobile defense mission. You must deliver payloads and defend a number of locations while I break into the network. Be prepared for heavy resistance. I can't do this without you. Void Fishers. You need them to open a relic. Confident you can withstand their fury.
Let's just,
You're near a fissure.
cut through that. What the? Oh, it's you.
I need access to a terminal. Find one and patch me in. Heavy robotic signature detected. Lock and load.
Don't worry, I'll be right
They're
there.
dropping reactant. Use it to crack open a relic. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant.
And there we go.
Here's the terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
Anybody? Okay, I think I'll just go ahead and drop some grenades out here.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
It's not what Double Fine did this time, so much as just no general forgiveness for them as a developer, anywho. Or at the very least, you know.
Move on.
You know, Tim Schafer being a prick.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position. I'm in, Tenno.
Okay, I've got that 100% boost just waiting. So here's what we're gonna do. Drop the dispensary right there. Something literally ran in front of me just to get set on fire. Oh, GQ. I'm not entirely sure why Twitch isn't sending out the notifications, but that's also why I usually try and retweet my going live messages.
Just stand there. Fix my ambulance.
We are finished there. Move on.
Is it hard to grind? Okay, I wholeheartedly disagree about, you know, not being able to solo anything.
I'm in, Tenno.
Admittedly, it's helpful if you've got a few friends online, especially if they have, like, any sort of gear that they can kick your way. But as far as being able to solo stuff, like, I'll put it to you this way. If I can solo the vast majority of the star chart, then I'm pretty sure you can pull it off easy.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Yeah, the interception and disruption missions are... those are difficult solo. I would say that. Not impossible, but tricky.
Odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission Walkers incoming.
Now, on to your question, Broken Scale, about how Protea fares. She's dynamite. Like, pretty much once I got all of her abilities, and once I got the hang of actually, you know, once I got the hang of, you know, dropping abilities when and where I need them, gets pretty crazy. And the grind itself really isn't... the best I can say is that the grind in Warframe, you always want to aim for something specific. And I'll tell you the exact reason why. If you aim for something specific, if you aim for one particular thing, like say, I'm trying to farm the parts for one particular Warframe. But by the time I do that, by the time you finish that up, you probably won't notice, but you're going to have quite a bit more in your arsenal that you can use. And then there's, of course, the Nightwave Battle Pass setup, which, if you go through that, complete the tasks, and just, keep up with completing
That's all from me.
the chapter-focused missions, then you'll wind up getting some pretty solid rewards. I mean, the fact that pretty much everything in the game can be earned in-game via some method, whether it's grinding or trading, even the premium currency here. The fact that the fact that you can earn everything in-game basically without spending much money, it definitely counts as a point in favor. One thing I will say, though, speaking of Railjack,
Do you remember the old war, Operator? Order seems to have misplaced those.
when you
elements.
actually do the missions to build your Railjack, it's going to take time. You can't, when you're constructing the parts for the ship itself, that's the stuff where, it's just going to take real-time hours. So that's one thing you gotta keep an eye out for. Anyway, on that note, we're going to go ahead and bring this Warframe Wednesday stream to a close. For anyone looking at actually, getting into using Valkyr, I would highly recommend going for it. If there's anyone watching that wants to, jump into Warframe, feel free to hit me up. I've got spare parts, I've got spare gear that I could easily kick over your way. And I'd be more than happy to help with that. But I will catch y'all on the next stream. Until then, stay good, neighborhood. I'll see you next time.